We also want to greet the leadership of the district of the YCL, the outgoing leadership. Yeah, I think they are outgoing. The outgoing leadership of the YCL in the district. Let us greet the leadership of SASCO led by Comrade Pizzi, the leadership of COSAS led by Makhura, delegates to this Congress. Receive revolutionary greetings. We are here today, comrades, to give message of support to this Congress. We are just going to give the message of support. We understand that the YCL Congress is a Congress of ideas. It's not a Congress of anarchy. It's not a Congress of only slogans. It's the Congress of debates. It's the Congress that must inject consciousness in our mindsets. Our message as the ANC Youth League in Pitamkawa is that we wish you a very peaceful, ideological, and very progressive Congress. We must say that coming from this Congress, comrades, the leadership that must emerge must be the leadership that, comrades, will be able to assist the ANC Youth League, particularly in this region, comrades, from its status of limping to its originality. We must have the youth league that is vibrant, the youth league that is militant, the youth league that is able, comrades, to champion the interests of young people. We must agree in this Congress that we don't have that youth league now. The leadership that must emerge in this Congress, Comrade Musel, must be the leadership that will be able to inject consciousness in the mindset of those who will be leading the ANC Youth League in this region. We speak here today when the ANC Youth League, comrades, is going to its Congress. You will attest that there is a moria of contenders. The YCL must make sure that they speak against contenders who want to lead the ANC Youth League even when they are mentally compromised. The leadership that must emerge here must make sure that they are able to change the status quo in terms of the interest of those who want to lead the ANC Youth League. We are here today, Comrade Ima, looking at all contenders of the ANC Youth League. Most of them have the inabilities to speak outside insults. Most of them have inabilities to speak content, to speak about empowerment of young people. They can't speak outside insults. We sit here today in this Congress, Comrade Im, where branches of the ANC Youth League are going in. Out of 10, they will show pictures of 2. Others are going in inside cars. It is the YCL that is going to emerge here today that must make sure, comrades, that things are done well in the ANC Youth League. Because our belief is that the YCL is a conscious youth organization that must be able to give direction as and when the ANC Youth League is going out on its way in terms of what it is supposed to do. The YCL leadership that is going to emerge here must be the leadership that is going to make sure that they direct society, in particular young people, that they must move from the idea of electing leaders who do not have capacity to can lead them, who do not have capacity to can take them from Egypt to Canaan. It is the duties of the YCL. The YCL in the PYA has responsibility to give content to all other structures of the PYA. We must be taught correct politics, Comrade Dan. The leadership that must emerge here must be the leadership that will be able to champion the struggle of anti-gender-based violence. It must be the leadership that will be able to tell a man that once you start to lay your hand or your finger on a woman, you must know that you are distancing yourself from being a man, but to be an animal. It must be that leadership. It must be the leadership that is able, comrades, to speak against abuse. It must be the leadership that condemns rapists. It must be the leadership that is able to speak against those who are molesting young people, those who are molesting kids. That is the leadership that must emerge from this Congress. That is the leadership that we are craving for. It has been said by Sasko that maybe that is why we have this disorder in the PYA structures. It's because when you see disorder, you must know that YCL is not there. Because it must be YCL that makes sure that it provides leadership, it gives direction in terms of content and consciousness. We do what we do as young people of the ANC Youth League because conscience has escaped from our minds. Those who have duties to take it back and inject it in our minds is you, comrades. And if you are not active, then there will be disorder in the PYA. Today, comrades are making noise about the candidacy of the ANC Youth League, our own ANC Youth League that was speaking on behalf. Our question is one, is that how will they be feeling after emerging as leadership of the ANC Youth League, having made sure that branches, young people in branches don't even know that the branches went in. They are making sure that they make signature campaigns when the YCL is here. We understand that today, the number that is here is very satisfying. We are saying it's satisfying because our understanding is that in the YCL, comrades, in the YCL, we are not concerned about quantity, but we are concerned about quality. And the delegates that are here, our understanding is that this is the quality leadership of the party, particularly at a young structure, which is the YCL. We must be able to understand and to make sure that we conscientize the ANC youth leaders, aspirant and current, those who are leading. We must be able to make sure that they understand the class politics. We must take them to a school to understand that we have two classes, and that is the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. In a simple language, you have capitalists and the working class. But when Marx understood that in terms of the working class, there is a confusion because I might be under the working class with Comrade Dan here, who in terms of the economic process and benefits, he is benefiting more than me. So it's difficult to classify ourselves in the same class, which is the working class. Marx came with the stratas, where the class is being stratified, where you have a low strata, a middle strata, and the higher strata in the working class. Comrade, please.
Oh, clarify a bit.
Yes. So we must be able to go and preach those things so that we are able to understand where we are. The ANC might be a broad church, But what needs to be understood is that today there's a question on whether the ANC has selected a bourgeoisie to lead or is he in the working class, and that maybe is a debate for another day. But reality is that the ANC, being a broad church, can still have a working class whose strata is that one of high strata. Because I can't earn what Ramaphosa is earning, it does not mean that Ramaphosa is a capitalist. He is a working class that might be classified at the higher strata. Yes. Because comrades, we must also agree that the difference between capitalists and the working class is that we classify them by means of production. Those who own the means of production are capitalists here. But the question is, who owns the means of production and who doesn't? That is where we'll come. It's a debate for another day. Because you must ask yourself, if I'm owning 49% of shares in McDonald's, do I own the means of production now? It's a debate for another day. But I just wanted to give it to delegates, because I understand that this is not a congress of voting, it's a congress of ideas. If Cyril Ramaphosa does not own the means of production, he is not a capitalist. Finish and clap. If he owns the means of production, then he is a capitalist. In terms of the definition of what a bourgeoisie is and what a proletariat is. Because even in the proletariat, you still have the lumpen proletariat.
Yes.
A person who can't even make an impact on the economy of the society, but can be used by those who are able to you'll correct us if we are confusing the class politics. But our understanding, the little understanding that we have, comrades, is that we'll be learning much from you, but we are just saying, comrades, as the ANC, we are happy to be here, and we wish you a very productive, ideological, peaceful, and progressive Congress. Amandla!
Away two.
Away two.
Amandla.
Well.